Hello everyone, Brendan from MuchFact.org here, and in this video we're going to be looking at how to access the deep web using Tails, the Amnesic Incognito Live System. Now, Tails is an operating system designed specifically to keep you anonymous while using your computer, and of course it comes with everything we need to be able to access the deep web, such as Tor. Now, using Tails to access the deep web is a lot more secure than just using Tor on your Windows or Mac computer, as Tails does not hold any personal information about you, and it forgets everything that you do once you turn the computer off. So the first thing we want to do is we want to download Tails. So go ahead and open up your web browser and head on over to tails.bomb.org. The links for all these will be in the description. And what you want to do is you want to click on the download link here. It'll be found on the right with the latest release, Tails 1.0 currently. And click on that. Scroll down to find the download the ISO image subheading. And choose either the direct download, the ISO image, or the BitTorrent download. And wait for it to download. Now, I've already got it downloaded, so I'm not going to do that. But now, when we are installing Tails, it is recommended you burn it to a CD. But for those of you who don't have access to a CD, such as myself, a USB is just as good. So today we will be installing our Tails to a USB. So to install Tails to USB, we want to download and use a software called UNetBootin, which we can obtain by simply googling UNetBootin and clicking on the first link that takes you to the SourceForge link. The link for this will be in the description as well. And you can download the correct version for your operating system. I've already got it downloaded for Windows, so we're good to go. Now, once both Tails and UNetBootin have finished downloading, go ahead and close your web browser or just minimize it. And we want to insert our USB and format our USB. So once you've got your USB inserted, I'd recommend at least 2 gigs. I'm using a 4 gig USB. And you just want to right click on it and format it. Unless you're using another operating system, then format it according to that. And you want to make sure you're formatting it to a FAT32 file system here, which is the default one. And you can label it whatever you want and just click start. This will erase everything and get it in the right file system we need to be able to install Tails to our USB. And once it's formatted, click OK. Now, once your USB has been formatted successfully, go ahead and run UNetBootin, and this will open up this window here. That will ask you for either a distribution or an ISO image. Now, we've downloaded the ISO image, so we're just going to click on disk image here, and we're going to go ahead and browse for our ISO, which is on my desktop. And you want the Tails, whatever version, .iso. Now, once you've selected that, make sure you have your USB drive, your correct USB drive selected. You don't want to install it to another one, and go ahead and click OK. Now, this will extract everything and install it so we can boot it from our computer. And once it's done, which does generally take a while, we'll be good to go. So once your install has finally finished, go ahead and reboot your computer and we can start up Tails. So now that your computer is in the process of rebooting, the first thing you want to do when it powers back on is go into the Boot Manager section of BIOS. Now, to get into this Boot Manager section depends on your computer, or your motherboard. And on my computer, for example, it is the F9 key, there. And that will take me into the Boot Manager when I power it on. But for you, it will probably be one of the function keys, one of the F keys, possibly delete, maybe escape, I'm not too sure. You may have to Google it. Now, I'm going to power mine on and go into Boot Manager. F9, change boot device. And you want to choose to boot from your USB hard drive here. In my case, it's the editor USB flash drive. And this will come up with this menu here. Currently, for some reason, choosing the default one tends to, I don't know, it should work, but it doesn't. So what you want to do is you want to scroll down with the arrow keys and select Live. This will come up with a few initializing command line sort of stuff, and it will start up Tails. So once Tails is booted up, and for the sake of being able to show you clearly what's going on, I've switched over to using a virtual machine again. And normally, I would highly recommend never using a virtual machine to run Tails, as it is a lot more insecure as your host operating system, as well as the virtual machine software could potentially spy in on what you're doing. But for the sake of this, I'm just using the virtual machine to be able to show you clearly without having to use my camera. And so once it's started up, what you want to do is you'll be greeted with these options here. Do you want to see more options? No or yes. Normally you don't need to worry about it, you can just click login. But say for some reason you do want to change options, go ahead and click yes, forward, and you get the options to change passwords, as well as activate a Microsoft Windows XP camouflage to make it look like XP. You can choose to spoof your MAC addresses, and just like when we did the Tor installation video, you can choose to configure your network based on whether your connection is censored, filtered, or proxied. But because mine is none of those, and I don't really want to touch these, I'm just going to click login. And this will start up the desktop. And once the desktop is loaded, you'll notice it's just telling me that I'm running a virtual machine and why I shouldn't do that. You can click on there to learn why, if you are, which I would highly recommend not doing. If you're on an Ethernet, a wired connection, your connection should just work, just like this is here. If not, if you're on wireless, there should be a wireless option here, because I tested it before, and it will give you options for Wi-Fi networks there that you can join. So once you're successfully connected to either a wired or wireless network, you will notice that this onion will appear here. It may be yellow at the start, and it may take a while to appear. Being on a virtual machine, this actually took a while to appear. I had to pause the recording and wait a while for it to start up. But eventually, this will appear, and it will say you are connected to the Tor network, like that. And then what we can do, once it appears there, you can go ahead to Applications, Internet, and choose iSweeper Web Browser, which is essentially our Tor browser, the one that's configured to use Tor. Now again, this may start up a bit slowly, depending on your computer, especially this virtual machine. And once it has started up, once it loads, you can go ahead and it will load up the tails.bomb.org, the news page. You can click on the Tor check, similarly to what we did when we installed the Tor browser bundle. And this will say, congratulations, this browser is configured to use Tor. Your IP address appears to be that. Now, because this is a different operating system, and because this operating system is designed to be amnesic and incognito, and designed to access the deep web, I would highly recommend you don't log on to Facebook or Gmail, Tumblr, YouTube, anything that could link you to who you are, because yeah, you don't want to be going on the deep web at the same time as you're going on a social network, as people could potentially see who you are and what you're doing, because you're on the same connection. So now to access the deep web, or the Hidden Wiki, sorry, we'll go ahead and go over to deepweb.to. I'll just put the links for the Hidden Wiki in the description, it'll be easier, and you can click on the Hidden Wiki link. Pretty sure that's the wrong link, I'm pretty sure that's outdated. And again, it may take a while to load. Yeah, that was the old link, the new link's there. I'll stick the new link in the description for you. And once it's loaded, you are good to go. You're on the deep web, you can do whatever you want. Just remember this video was for educational purposes only, and I would highly recommend that you stay away from the illegal sites in particular. So I hope you found this video interesting, I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'm always keen to answer questions. And I'll see you in the next video, so thanks for watching. See ya.